Thank you. I'm relating this story not to aggrandize myself, but it's about, I represent hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people in Israel who would do the exact same thing as me, as I did in this story, because we are confident in what we believe in. We are confident in our people, in our nation, in our God, and who we are and what we are. So here's the story. It was 1977, I believe, and the PLO, which in those days was the Hamas of today. They were hijacking planes. They were going into Israeli buses and slaughtering people. They were blowing up markets in Israel. They were attacking kindergartens. They killed a whole bunch of kids. Jack remembers in high school in Ma'alot in 1974. They were the world's biggest and most dangerous terrorist group. And when I went to Brooklyn College in the late 70s, early 80s, it was probably 60% Jewish. And it was a school full of lots of scholars who were teaching and lots of smart kids. It would be the equivalent of ISIS coming to a college campus, not Ami Horowitz, but real ISIS, showing up on the campus and saying, what are you going to do about it? So the PLO showed up, set up a table in the middle of the quad. Now, I want to remind the audience, I was taking Arabic classes at the time and Islam classes. So I knew a lot of these guys from class. A lot of third world students, a lot of, angry people at the United States who bought in that Israel's colonialist and imperialist and America's the same thing. They put up the Palestinian flag and they had all these flyers, down with Israel, down with colonialism. I had just been back from a year in Israel. I also had done some security work. I was wearing my little bomber jacket from the Israeli army. I had my little knitted yarmulke. Every Jew was hiding and running away. I walked right into the crowd. I walked right into the crowd as if I was interested in reading their literature. And everybody's looking at me as if I'm mentally ill, which I may have been. And I started to pick up every booklet. Zionism, the colonialism and imperialist movement. Yeah, I like that one. That's a good one. Let me pick this one up. Israel, occupied Palestine. Yep, I've heard that one before. I'll take that. And I went and I picked up every piece of literature they have. The Zionist demon, the Zionist liars, the Zionist cancer, the imperialists, the colonialists. I picked up all the literature. And I'm going, and people are looking at me like this guy is really Looney Tunes. Either he's one of us. I don't know why he's dressed like that. But if he's dressed like that and he's not one of us, what's he doing? So I collect all this stuff and I walk over to the table where the people running the demonstration are sitting. Now, one of them was a guy from my Arabic class. I knew him. I'm not buddies, but I knew him. His name was Ali. And I go, Ali, do you believe all this stuff here? Zionism, imperialism, Zionism, colonialism, Israel is really occupied. Of course I do. Of course, it's clear. There's nothing to discuss. I go, okay. I said, I want to tell you something. I want to give you a piece of advice. When I said I want to give you advice, everybody came closer. All the people who were with him wanted to hear my advice. So I go, listen, I got to give you credit. You've had a very good day at Brooklyn College. You have made the Jewish kids on this campus insane. They don't know what to do with themselves. Their heads are exploding. Some have anxiety attacks. Some are nauseous. Some may be vomiting. Some are calling their parents. They don't know what to do. Or what is this happening? Is there going to be a terrorist attack? You've done a great job here. You have picked off, frightened, scared thousands of Jewish kids at Brooklyn College. I go, I don't know if that was your intent, but you succeeded. But the truth is, if I read your literature, that's not your final goal. Your final goal is for the occupied Palestine to be liberated. He looks at me like, holy crap, like, what is with this guy? I go, so let me give you advice how to liberate Palestine. I said, stop sitting here in Brooklyn College. Go to Beirut. Fly to Beirut. I said, I don't know exactly the address, but I know it's in West Beirut. Ask people for the headquarters of the PLO. That's where the PLO headquarters were in the 70s. You know, Yasser Arafat's there. You know, a lot of Abu Shihad was there. A lot of nasty people were there. I said, you need to find the PLO headquarters in West Beirut, and you need to tell them how committed you are to liberating Palestine. And what they'll do is they'll bring you to South Lebanon, where they have training camps. I think I said it'll take somewhere between 8 and 12 weeks, and they could train you to be what they say in Arabic is a fadayin. Fadayin is a freedom fighter. For us, it means terrorist. They'll teach you how to use AK-47s and grenades and how to cut wires and how to sneak in and how to get by patrols and how to blow up a building and how to shoot up a bus. They'll teach you the beginning, the vanguard. And I said, after you're done with all that training, you and a bunch of other fadayin will start making your way to the occupied Palestine border. And here's where I want to give you what I think is a piece of advice may help you and your friends. You see, what's waiting for you on the other side of the boundary is not the literature, it's not the caricatures that you made up about me and my friends. We're not colonialists. We're not imperialists. We're not sitting on somebody else's land. I'm not the English in Kenya. I'm not the French in Morocco. I'm not the Italians in Libya. This is my homeland. Now, we've always wanted to work something out with you if you want to talk, but that hasn't been where you people have been so far. When you get to that border, you're going to meet my friends. And my friends don't see themselves as anything other than the sons of Israel, proud Jews, and some may not be Jews, defending their country, their mothers, their fathers, their brothers, their sisters, and if they're older, their wives and their children. And they're going to do everything they can to help you die for your cause. And you think about that for a minute, and you have a nice day, Ali. Everybody came around me, and I started this whole, they wanted to have a whole conversation with me, and I very clearly, politely began to explain, this is where I'm coming from. I understand where you're coming from. I don't pretend that you're make-believe. Don't pretend that I'm make-believe. The cartoon character that you think I am, I'm not, because if I was, you would have beaten me 100 years ago. You have this all mixed up. You have no idea who you're dealing with. By the way, that's one of the reasons some Arab states are making peace with us. They've begun to figure it out. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere. If anything, we could make the whole neighborhood better. We've always said that. We could make the entire Middle East a better place. Politically, economically, socially, health-wise, you name it. I will tell you one thing. When you get those Israeli reservists to speak, you're going to get some of them.
Right.
You're going to get younger versions of me. Because it's not just me. There's a whole bunch, anybody who's gone through what I've gone through, feels the same way, talks the same way. You will see the passion, and that's a whole other generation right now. And we need to light that fire with everyone. I'm not, here I may be one voice. In Israel, there are 100,000s of people like me. That's the good news.
Thank you, Rabbi.
Take care, everybody. Thank you, Jack.
Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.